RJ, positive liberty, self-realize, political science, Western political thought, political theory and thoughts, and civil obedience. Political liberty means freedom of self-realize. Civil disobedience, non-violent violation of unjust law. Unjust law. Theory Gandhi. Civil disobedience, political participation, voting, protest, activism, activist voting, political legitimacy. However, traditional charismatics, legal rational. However, traditional, paramпарик, charismatic, legal rational, bureaucracy, however, rational, legal authority, hierarchy, legal rational, hierarchy, public theory for political culture types, almond, parochial subject. Hmm. Yeah. Almond. ଖ୍ରୀଷ୍ଟିଆନ ମୁଖ୍ୟମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ବା ପଲିଟିକାଲ କଲଚର ଖ୍ରୀଷ୍ଟିଆନ ମୁଖ୍ୟମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ହେଲା parochial subject ଯେତେଲା ଯିବନି political systems eastern authoritative Stalin political 40 ବର୍ଷ ହେଇଗଲାଣି political system general will Rousseau collective will of community ଜିତିଯିବା 60-70 ନାହିଁ general will Rousseau collective will of community civil society civil society Gramsci sphere of ideological struggle Gramsci civil society public sphere हरई मोदी जीते पॉलिटिकल थियरी पर्पस पॉलिटिकल क्वाड नहीं आसी जीतेला अंडरस्टैंड हाँ 6 मास पूर्व आसी जने कि जीति एडो राज्य 40 वर्ष अंडरस्टैंड इवैल्यूएट गाइड पॉलिटिकल लाइफ पॉलिटिकल थियरी अंडरस्टैंड इवैल्यूएट गाइड पॉलिटिकल लाइफ पॉलिटिकल थियरी पब्लिक स्फीयर हाबरमास स्पेस फॉर रेशनल डिबेट पब्लिक स्फीयर civil society Gramsci sphere of ideological struggle Gramsci general will Rousseau collective will of community state of nature hypothetical pre-political condition hypothetical state of nature condition Hobbes Locke state of nature Hobbes Locke political system eastern authoritative political cultures almond parochial bureaucracy Weber negative liberty freedom from interference Berlin negative liberty means interference freedom from interference minimal state night watchman state welfare state ensures social economical welfare political modernizations rationalizations secularizations participations political development modernization institutionalizations political development Huntington modernizations class of civilizations Huntington cultural conflict post Cold War end of history Fukuyama liberal democracy final form Fukuyama end of ideology a bell ideological conflict over communitarian critique liberal individualism neglects community deliberative democracy a decision through region debate Habermas deliberative democracy decision through region debate Habermas deliberative democracy deliberative democracy, decision through reason, debate, Habermas, communitarian critique, liberal individualism neglects community, environmentalism, ecology plus politics, grin theory, environmentalism, politics, grin theory, post-colonial theory, critique of colonial legacy in politics, critique of a colonial legacy in politics, post-colonial theory, critique of colonial legacy in politics, feminist theory, gender as political category, patriarchy critique, feminist theory, patriarchy critics, post-colonial theory, critique of colonial legacy in politics, environmental ecology, rational choice theory, political action based on self-interest, system theory, Eastern inputs, outputs, feedback in politics, Eastern, structural functionalism, Almond, political system as system of function, political system as system of functions, structural functionalism, Almond, political system as system of function, political system as system of function, functionalism, post-behavioralism, values, relevance in politics, values, behavioralism means values, elite theory, power held by small elite Pareto Mosca, power held by small elite Pareto Mosca, elite theory, Mosca, power held by small elite, pluralism, power dispersed among the multiple groups, pluralism means multiple groups, power dispersed by multiple groups, divine right theory, king's authority from God, social contract theory, state arises from agreement, contract, Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, social contract, power dispersed among the groups, elite theory, power held by small elite, rich person, Aurobindo, integral yoga, spiritual nationalism, Aurobindo, integral spiritual nationalism, Tagore, universalism, cosmopolitanism, critique of nationalism, critique of nationalism, Savarkar, Hindutva, cultural nationalism, cultural, Tagore, universalism, cosmopolitanism, critique of nationalism, nationalism critique, cultural nationalism, Savarkar, Dindayal Upadhyaya, integral humanism, culture nationalism, Jayaprakash Narayan, total revolutions, participatory democracy, we would participate. Lohia, seven revolutions, socialism, caste abolition. Lohia, seven revolutions, socialism, caste abolition. Seven revolutions, socialism, and caste abolition. Lohia, M.N. Roy, a radical humanism, decentralizations. Radical humanism, decentralizations. M.N. Roy. Decentralizations. Seven revolutions, socialism, caste abolition. Socialism, caste abolition. Lohia. M.N. Roy, radical humanism. M.N. Roy, radical humanism, decentralizations. Nehru, democratic socialism. Democratic socialism. And secularism, non-alignment. Ambedkar, annihilation of caste. Caste abolish. Constitutional morality, social justice. Ambedkar. Gandhi, Satyagraha, Swaraj, trusteeships, non-violence. Occult, power, knowledge, discipline, society. Habermas, communicative action, public sphere, communicative. Occult, power, knowledge, discipline, society. rawls, theory of justice, RJ. veil of ignorance, ignorance के ऊपर veil, cover. Reference principles. Nudging, anarchy, state, utopia. libertarianism, minimal state, libertarianism, anarchy. Berlin, two concept of liberty, negative plus positive. Habermas, communicative action, public sphere, communicative. Power, knowledge, disciplinary exercise, book cult. Berkey, conservation, conservatism, Berkey, tradition, gradual change, tradition, parampara, conservatism, Sankhya. Mao, peasant revolutions, continuous revolution, peasant revolution, continuous revolution. Mao. Gramsci, cultural hegemony, civil society. Gramsci, cultural hegemony, civil society. Mao, peasant revolution. Peasant revolution, continuous revolution. Gramsci, cultural hegemony, civil society. Gramsci. Mao, peasant revolution, continuous revolution. Lenin, vanguard party, imperialism as the highest stage of capitalism. Imperialism. Saম্রাজ্যবাদ. Engels, origin of family. Engels, origin of family, private property and state. Marx, communist manifesto, class struggle, historical materialism. Materialism, communist manifesto. Hegel, dialectic state, ethical idea. Hegel, dialectic state as ethical ideal, freedom through state. Dialectic state as ethical. Dialectic state as ethical idea, freedom. Dialectic state as ethical idea, freedom through state. Communist manifesto, class struggle, historical materialism. Historical materialism, Vastuvad. Engels, origin family, private property and state. J.S. Mill, on liberty, Mill, ML. Rand principle, representative government, liberty. Bentham, leviathan, utilitarianism, Bentham. Greatest happiness principle, उपयोगितावाद, Bentham. Montesquieu, a separation of powers, spirit of laws, spirit of law. Rousseau, social contract, general will, popular sovereignty, सार्वभौमत्व. Montesquieu, separation power, spirit of law, power separation, Montesquieu, spirit of laws. Locke, two treatises, natural rights, Locke. Mills, liberty. Locke's natural rights, limited government, limited government, limited government. Hobbes, leviathan, Hobbes. Bentham, utilitarianism, leviathan, state of nature, social contract, absolute sovereignty, absolute sovereign, social contract, leviathan. Machiavelli, prince, politics as power, realism, ends justify means. Machiavelli, prince of politics as power. Prince, politics as power, realism, ends justify means. Thomas Aquinas, synthesis of Aristotle plus Christianity plus natural law. Synthesis of Aristotle. Augustine, city of God versus city of man, divine authority. Augustine, city of God versus city of man, divine authority. City of God versus city of man, divine authority. Cicero, natural law, republicanism, Roman political thought. Cicero, natural law, republicanism, Roman political thought. Plato, republic, philosopher, king, ideal state, justice as harmony, ideal state, republic, Plato, justice as harmony, Sardata, justice, न्याय, Extra politics, manage political animal, classification, government, Aristotle, government types, monarchy, aristocracy, polity, tyranny, oligarchy, democracy, Cicero, natural law, republicanism, Roman political thought, Saint Augustine, city of a god versus city of a man, divine authority, city of a god versus city of a man, divine authority, Thomas Aquinas, synthesis of Aristotle versus Christianity, natural law, Thomas Aquinas, synthesis of Aristotle, Christianity, natural law, city of God versus city of man, divine authority, Machiavelli, the prince, the politics has power, realism, ends justify means, the prince, politics of power, realism and justify means, Hobbes, leviathan, state of nature, social contract, absolute sovereign, to that teach.